I'm Holly from rockingthecloth.com, and today I just want to show you how to make DIY fleece liners for your cloth diapers. Now, fleece liners are great for people that just want an easier way to deal with soiled diapers because if you've been dealing with diapers at all already, you know that spraying poop or scraping it or dunk and swish, whatever. There's a lot of poop removal methods out there. They're not always a lot of fun. So a lot of people like to use liners on their diapers because it will keep the poop from, at least mostly, from touching the diaper. So it keeps the diaper a little cleaner, and then you can either just clean the fleece, or if you bought disposable liners, you throw them out. But if you use fleece, you have the option to reuse them. You can just clean the liner, and that's actually a lot easier because if you're thinking of some of the all-in-ones, a lot of them have flaps on them, and they do that to have a quicker dry time, but that makes it really annoying when you go to clean poop off of them because now you might have poop on different layers of the flaps and all of that stuff. So if you just cover that all up with a liner, you have all the poop in one spot. You can just deal with cleaning just that liner. Okay, so it does simplify the process a lot. You definitely don't have to have liners, but a lot of people think that it makes cloth diapering a lot easier. So I'm going to show you how to make these today. So the materials that you need are some fleece. You can either just buy fleece at the store, a yard or two of fleece, depending on how many liners you think you want to make. A yard would probably make plenty. But another thing that a lot of people like to do is they just like to go to Walmart and buy their cheap fleece blankets. If you go to their blanket section, the fleece blanket section, you kind of have to dig a little bit because they have a lot of more pricey ones, but they also have blankets for $2.50. And just these simple little fleece blankets. And these are actually perfect for this project because the dimensions of the blanket work really well to make diaper liners too, and you don't have to do you don't have a lot of waste scraps or anything like that, so it's super nice. Okay, so you need a blanket, you need some fabric scissors, and you need a yardstick or just something to help you measure the width of the diapers as you cut. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is trim. If you're using a blanket, you want to trim the edges, which has this threading you can kind of see there, and then it also has a tag. So you'll just want to cut this off because it'll just fray and fall off anyway, so you might as well just cut it off and get it out of the way. If you didn't buy a blanket, you won't have edging, so you can skip that step. So I've already started to cut the edging a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and finish that now, and then we'll move on to step 2. Okay, so I got my edges trimmed. The next step is you're going to fold your blanket or fabric in half, hamburger style, twice. Okay, so I'm just going to get this up on the table to make it easier to fold. Okay, so you're working with the short edge in front of you, and we're folding hamburger style. Now, one thing to remember is you are making a diaper liner. It goes on the inside of the diaper. No one is going to see it, and it's going to catch poop, so it does not need to be perfect. Your edges that you cut do not need to be perfect. It helps when cutting to make sure your fold is decent, but if you're not perfectly symmetrical, it really isn't going to matter. So you just do your best, okay? And then hamburger style one more time. Just try to line it up. Now, one thing that's nice about this blanket is if you measure it, after you cut the edges, it's about exactly 48 inches, which gives us great. If we're going to cut them 6 inches wide, it works out perfect. Okay. The other thing that's super nice, once you fold it in half hamburger style twice and you measure it the short way, we get about 14 inches, or at least I got 14 inches. I usually get, this is actually a little bigger, so I must have been a little closer on the edges than I've done in the past, but that's just fine. Okay? So it's nice to kind of make them 6 inches wide and 14 inches long, because that will fit your diapers at their widest, biggest setting. And then if your baby isn't quite to that widest setting yet, it's super easy just to fold the insert so that it is, fits inside the diaper. You just fold it. It's not a big deal. And then that way you don't have to remake new inserts every time you go through a rise change on your one size diapers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and get ready for the next step. Okay, the next thing to do is just to measure and cut. And like I said, this is already a great length, so I just need to measure the width. I like to do 6 inches. Some people do 5, but I do 6 because when you're working with these Walmart blankets and you get a length of 48, you just don't have to waste any at the end. So just measure out 6 inches and you start cutting all the way through. So I'm cutting through about 4 layers right now because of the way it's folded. Okay, and then you get a strip like this, which is about to become 4 liners. Okay, and that brings us to our final step. Now, prior to this, I would have gone through and done them all. I just did 2 for now because that's all you really need to see. You're going to cut the liners apart on the folds. So on each end, you're just going to cut straight across. And there is 1 fold down at the other side to get 2. And then when you do that, you have 4 liners. Okay, so they are ready to go. That's all it takes. It's very easy, a very quick project. And as long as you wash and reuse, there's really no reason that you'll ever really need to do it again. So definitely worth doing for $2.50 or a yard of fleece. It is really just a nice hack to make your cloth diapering experience easier. So check out the blog post linked to this video to see some more information about diaper liners and some pros and cons and stuff to see if this is a project you want to start. Thanks. Have a great day.